Let's start with the programs. So this is the practical class 12 term 1 series of programs. Okay. So first program is before using the program. First you have to import all the libraries to support your modules that you are using. So first what I'm doing is in the first tab I'm writing import pandas as PD, then import numpy as np, and import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. All the three. Numpy will be used to generate an array. Pandas will be required to use that array in form of series or in data frames, and matplotlib will be required for plotting the graphs. So all the three and execute it. You're not going to see any output from this, but this is what you have to execute to attach these libraries to your collaboratory notebook. Now next is the program to create a series using ND-array. So first line is trying to show you how you can create an array using your NumPy. So np.arange, see np.arange means we are using a function which is a part of NumPy library. So this module, that is np.arange, is required to generate an array. Array means a sequence which has all the values of same data type. From 10 starting point to 50, because 51 if you are using till 50, from 10 to 50, always the upper limit is excluded in this case. So from 10 to 50 in gap of 5 generate a list, and that list use in the series function to create a series. That's why we have written the name of the array np.arange provided with the start, stop and step. Then series 1 is equal to pd.series nda1. This array that we created, we provided as an argument to series function. Let's execute, and you're going to see two lines, two columns. Okay, one will be, see here, the first one is implicit indexes put up by the module, and this is what is the value that we ask for. As you can just see the value 10 to 51 means from 10 to 50. I told 51 excluded always, and in gap of 5. So how much gap we do have here is of 5 steps to take in between, and this is your series created. Indexes are always the unique values and which are created here implicitly put by the module. But if you want, you can also decide the indexes by yourself. So in next example, we are going to see that. Next is creating the series using dictionary. So if you created using dictionary, the indexes you are going to get, because dictionary is a combination of key value pair. So key will be your index and value will be your content of the series. See here. Dict1. Last year you have already learned how to create a dictionary, but this is what I'm showing here. Dict1. One key value, comma, key value, comma, key value. What is the key in first case? ONE1. We are taking a string, and Monday is the value. 2 key Tuesday is the value. 3 key Wednesday is the value. 4 key Thursday is the value. 5 Friday, like this. It is all this dictionary we have created. We are passing the dictionary to series dict1 series pd.series. Again we used it like the same here. You execute and you're going to see this time little bit different. That is, the indexes will be the one you have decided by yourself. You can even use a number here. Okay, it's not only the string, anything can be used. So the first key list will be taken as indexes and values will be taken as the series value. Okay, so this is your series actually. Now the next program is, given a series, print all the elements that are above the 75th percentile. Now you have to understand here what is a percentile. See, always when we have a domain of values, suppose you have a value from 1 to 100, and from 1 to 100, if you want to find out in the list how many values are in between 0 to 25, 25 to 50, 50 to 75, and then 75 to 100. If you just want to do part of 4 of the value domain that you have, the range of value that you have, you can use this function, that is quantile. So what we are here trying, similarly the example is, suppose you have values ranging from 10 to 500. So from 10 to 500, there will be random values. Now you want to find out how many values come in between the range of first 25% of the value range, 50% of the value range from 25 to 50, then 50 to 75, and 75 to 100. So this is the range we are trying to find. There is a very good example I'm going to give you later on when we do the project. Why do you need, when you do analysis of any sales, this is something which is used mostly. So here what you have to do, again I have written the import pandas as pd, import numpy, which already is done. You don't need to write them again. Create an array. This is what is an array, created with the random values. As you can see, there are around 10 values. So this is the we do not know actually the range from which it is. I can see 10 and 10 to I think 92. So 10 to 92, and now here we are trying to find out which is the particular value exactly between the 75 to 100. Okay, we are passing this array into series to create first the series. So df is the series. Now we are performing the command from the df set of value greater than and equal to df dot quantile 0.75. Confused? Listen me carefully. Quantile 0.75 is going to give you the quantile value of the last part, that is 75 to 100. Okay, we are just trying to pick up, because quantile is going to part your values in 4. Okay, 25, 50, 75 and 100. Now we are only interested in the last part, so we are trying to just write df data frame greater than and equal to 0.75 percentile. Oh, those values pick up and prepare a data frame of it. That's why we always have to write it under df, and that will be stored in s. So when you execute, this is what you are going to get, that is 90, 92 and 102. Okay, we did not notice it. So 102, these 3 values are there which are under the last part. That is, if you part your values into 4, 75 plus percentile, these are the 3 values. Okay, now the next one is to create a data frame quarterly sales. Let me give the focus here. Okay, so create a data frame that is quarterly sales, where each row contains the item category, item name and expenditure. Group the rows by the category and sum the expenditure. Here now we have come up to the creation of data frames. So data frame and series, what is the difference? We all know series is 1 dimension, data frame is multi-dimension, means 2 dimension here we are using. So each column of data frame is actually one series. Now dictionary here also you are creating, but this dictionary will be a 2D dictionary. That is, under one key you will have a list of values provided. So your first column will be index item category with these values. Second will be item name with the values provided as a list. Third as an expenditure with the values provided. Okay, so this is one dictionary we have created, and we are passing it as argument to the data frame function. Once you do that, it is going to create a data frame. Now let's go for the next program. This is the program where we have to create a data frame. Quarterly sales are given, where each row contains the item category, item name, expenditure. Group the rows by category and sum expenditure. Simple meaning is, according to the category of item, we have to make groups. Each group we have to find the total of the expenditure put on a group. So it means how many values are there in item category. See, A, B and C. This is what is a repetition of only 3. After this program, you are going to get A, B and C as 3 groups, and whatever the values associated to all the A category is there will be sum up. B category all values sum. C category is all values sum. Nothing to do with item name in this program. Okay. So first what we require is to create a data frame. What we are doing is we are using dictionary for creating the data frame. As it is mentioned, there are 3 columns we need. We are creating a key value pair for the 3 columns. The first column is going to be item category, which is the first key in the dictionary, providing values as a list. Then item name as second column name as a key, and the list of values that will fill up as a column value for this item name. Similarly, third, expenditure, and these are the values. So this is when you are going to pass as argument to data frame function. See, in the previous program we use series. Here we are using data frame. D capital, F capital, very careful, okay? So data frame providing dict1 is going to prepare a data frame stored in this Q quarterly sales variable. Let's first do one thing, examine what we created. How our data frame look like. This is the first data frame we are creating, because see here, and try to understand what we did in dictionary and how your content appears over here. This is, as I told you, indexes, but they are implicitly put up. Okay, we don't put it. If you don't provide indexes, this is what it is going to give. Now, we decided item category. These are the values in the column of item categories. We provided list. Item name, here is the values. Here we got it as a column values. Expenditure, here we got it. Now, what is the task to make the group? Group of 3 groups in item category. The first one is going to definitely be A, second one B, third is C. Accordingly, if there are 3 values in expenditure for A, all will be added. We have to only write the command. We don't have to do it manually addition. I'm going to explain you this part now. This is what will be displayed, that is total expenditure category wise also. Then this is the command. Quarter sales has the data frame. So data frame name dot group by. Group by is a command that you can use to make the groups out of the value of a column. So whatever value, column value you want to group, you have to provide that column. We are providing item category. So from this item category, make the groups. Similar values can be taken as group. On that group, perform a sum taking the column expenditure. Group by item category. This is going to create 3 groups. Group A, Group B and Group C. Now use sum function on the associated value in expenditure column for these groups. This is going to give you the answer. Let's execute it. See the total, and if you want, you can even try. Category A, category B and category C, these are the total values, means 3, 2 or 5, whatever values here we have. A, 3 values will be added up, B again 3 values and C 2 values will be added up. This is what is your output. Clear? Now next, let's move for the next program, the 5th one, that is create data frame and display row label, column label, data types of each column and the dimension. This is nothing but analyzing the data frame. We will be creating a data frame and we are going to analyze it. Even the data frame we created in the 4th program, we can use that. But we are creating a new one here because there are different ways how data frame can be created. This way, I'm going to explain you other ways out that you can use. There we use a dictionary directly. Here, first we are creating the series and then using those series into dictionary. to create, and rest the lines will be same. See, create a data frame to examine for examination result and display the row label. What are we are creating? First, we are creating the staff. pd.series, these are the values and these are the indexes. Then pd.series, this is salary and these are the indexes of the salaries. Then these two are the series. Now we are taking this series in dictionary. In the previous example, what we did, we had a key and here in the value we provided a list. Here we are providing a series, nothing else. So this staff and salary that we have already created, we are putting up in the key value pair. So the column name is going to staff and the values will be this. The column name is going to salary and the values is this. And this time you're going to see the same indexes, these indexes, because we are explicitly providing it. Okay, let's see. First, we are going to execute the first part, that is only we are going to see what is the data frame, how we created a data frame, how our data frame look like, only the data frame. So this is the data frame we have created. See the indexes 11, 22 and 33, staff and the salary. Okay, so these are the value which are actually not in the real example. Now trying to find out what are the indexes. So what we are learning here is how to extract the indexes, how to extract the columns, how to extract and know about the shape of the data frame created and the dimension of the data frame created. So the first one, this is, and okay, just execute the first one. This is what is the indexes. Yes, it is showing the indexes, that is 11, 22, 33 are the indexes. Let's show the columns. So there will be two lines. So columns, what are the columns? We have the columns as staff and salary. Object, see the column data type is object. Object means string. There it was showing integer, here it is showing object, because the character sequence if you are using, then it is going to take it as object. Object is a data type which is specified for the mixed values that you are going to take in the column. The next is we are trying to find what is the shape of the data frame that we have created. So the shape is 3-2. What is 3-2? Nothing. 3 rows and 2 columns. Now the next is what are the dimensions, and yeah, definitely you will understand what is the dimension. Dimension is 2. We have here 2D data frame, rows and columns. So this is 2. So I hope this is clear to you all, this program. And now the next one, that is the sixth one.